again. I'm back, Linda Ockwell-Jenner, and as promised, this is the video you've been waiting for. If you remember in my first video, I told you how I lived in Canada. I immigrated from the UK 24 years ago, and I've been through lots of challenges, including working 3 very low paid jobs, which I did my best to enjoy, but it was really difficult looking after 4 children and keeping, the mortgage paid and stuff like that. So today I want to take you back in time. I think a lot of us have problems when we're younger because we have very low self-esteem, and that was me. Yes, believe it or not, I had very low self-esteem. I was a pleaser. I wanted to please people, and the 2 friends I did have, I now know were bullies and were bullying me, but because I wanted to be liked, I stuck with those 2 girls. I think I began to mature once I left high school, and I got my job, if you remember, as a secretary in Birmingham in the UK where I lived. But once I had my 4 children, I really came into my own and had the confidence to know that I was a good person. I love myself, I like myself, and that really gave me a good grounding for my 2 businesses many years later. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about the fact that we can't run away from our challenges. We can't really have a successful life, personal or business, if we don't accept that we've got a challenge in our life and we want to deal with that challenge. So I guess my first experience of a panic attack was after the birth of my 4th child. And I had no idea I was having a panic attack. I just woke up in bed one night and I virtually threw my baby daughter across to my husband, and I ran outside into the street and basically felt like I was suffocating, like I was having a heart attack. It was a really, really awful experience. I'd never heard of anxiety or panic attacks, but I think what was happening with me as I grew up into a young adult, I would push stuff into my subconscious, thereby I wasn't dealing with it, which is a very unhealthy thing to do, but in reality we don't know what we don't know. I'd come from a really good family, but my parents didn't communicate with us as much as I communicate with my children. So I think what's helped me become the person I am today is A, recognising when we have a challenge, and B, communication. I find that's key in every area of our life. I visited my local doctor in the UK. He suggested antidepressants, which I have no problem with medication, but I suggested before I took the medication that I would like to look into hypnosis, hypnotherapy. So I found a young lady who was very good at hypnotherapy. She had all the paperwork to prove that, she knew what she was doing. And that helped me. Now, it wouldn't help everybody. Some people obviously would be helped by actually taking some form of medication. But in my case, I was able to discover, my fears, why I lacked self-esteem. And then I was able to do some at home, listen to some relaxation tapes. And in my case, that's helped me for the rest of my life. So once I'd recognised that a panic attack was coming on, I would know what to do about it. And to be honest, I didn't have another panic attack for many years until my first breast cancer diagnosis in 1997, and I was able to deal with it so it didn't get out of hand. So in order for me to have the life I live now and operate 2 successful businesses, to travel the world with work and obviously on vacation with my husband, it meant I had to put my life in order first. And it wasn't a case of blaming all the awful things that I felt had happened to me in my childhood or as I grew up into a young adult. It was a case of accepting those things have happened and I could be the change that I wanted. And that sounds very, okay, everybody says this, but it's true. We have to take ownership and accept that we can change the outcome of our life. We can change ourselves in many ways, but I never advocate anybody be someone they're not. I was someone I wasn't without knowing it. I was shy, I was introverted, I had no self-esteem. And look at me now, I smile, I'm a people person, I help a lot of people. I stand on the stage and present to thousands of people, and I've written 3 books. That was a work in action for me, but I'm not saying that everybody will turn into me. What I'm saying is that we have to learn to love ourselves, to like ourselves in order to move on with our life. What I'm going to do in some future videos is to talk about how when I emigrated to Canada and I was working 3 awful low paid jobs, I keep on saying that, you know, how I escaped. And escape sounds very dramatic, but I guess if it wasn't for certain things that happened in my life, I'd still be, you know, working at those 3 jobs. So, yes, I love the life I've got now, but I've worked hard for it. It's not a case of just sitting there and waiting for things to happen. So, I'm really excited to be sharing some tips and ideas with you. But always remember, you are never alone, there is always help. And basically, if you do talk about your fears and your challenges, it's like a weight being lifted from your shoulders, which is what I've always done. So I look forward to being here again with another video. Please, please, please come back. And if you haven't subscribed to my videos, please do so. And I've already started receiving some emails and feedback. So I know you're enjoying what you've already heard. And I'll be back soon. So have a wonderful day. Hey, thanks for watching my videos. I hope you're enjoying them. If you'd like even more of my tips and ideas, I've included all of my secrets on networking in my book, Business Networking in a Nutshell, Secrets from the Social Sweetheart. It's available in paperback on Amazon and as an ebook for Kindle and iPad.